Morning. Good morning. How to think. We had a holiday Monday. It is Wednesday. Last week, when I was trying on Tuesday to make it Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then I just kept trying to push the week along. And this week, now I'm where I should be. I just needed the Monday jump to get to Tuesday. Monday is a Tuesday. Tuesday is a Wednesday. So how are you this beautiful, beautiful fall day for us in the Northern Hemisphere anyway? This beautiful sunny day. And remember, when you sign on, just let me know where you're signing on from so I can see you and maybe I can see your name and I'll say hello. I was going to say something else too. Oh, yeah. I'm Tanya Baldwin. I'm from Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self, and I'm also the host of Trauma Talk, and I am a trauma wellness healer, which means that I combine not only my education that I gathered through various means, trauma lived experiences, and also from people like Gabor Mate. Tuesday is my Monday. Oh, and now it's Wednesday. So you are really jumping ahead. Tuesday is your Monday and it's Wednesday. I love it. We can talk about dates and I'll go to work and I'll be all confused. I'll be like, what day is it again? But I combine my lived experience, of which I have a lot. I've experienced all different types of trauma, from neglect to every type of abuse that you can imagine. And I've been homeless. I've been kidnapped. I've had lots of crazy experiences. And that is where I speak from, is through that space. I also feel connection. I feel energy. When I do oracle card readings, when I get your energy on the cards, I feel that like a rush. Even right now, just talking about that, I feel this energy in my body. It's really cool. So anyway, I combine my nursing, I combine my love of all things holistic, and I created a trauma wellness package. And I have various other things that I do. But on top of all of that, I do the card pulls. So today I pulled for our tarot card, the Four of Pentacles. That's just a beautiful card. So I'm not sure who this card might be for. Take what resonates with you, let go of what doesn't. So the Four of Pentacles is stability, savings, success, generosity, accepting your work, being in flow with the universe, feelings of gratitude, helping others in time of need. Now, if we're not careful, we could see it in the Shadow Seer. The Shadow Seer is hoarding, coveting, lack mentality, placing too much value on money, and a need to be more charitable. So you're building your life coin by coin, and you've reached a moment of stability. Getting here signifies an interval when you can rest, reevaluate, and take stock. Likely you're being reminded to double check those foundations and to save some money for a rainy day. How do you feel about your finances? Continuing towards your goal without over-focusing on your possessions, and let go of any jealousy derived from another person's position in life. Negative feelings around abundance will breed energy blocks big enough to hold back even the most magical of trajectories. The tighter you try to hold on to things, the more you block yourself from stepping into the flow of wealth and happiness. If a scarcity mindset is haunting your actions, ask yourself if you are looking down on others based on how much money they have or don't have. Actively save and give in the world and focus on feeling excited and expansive. I live an abundant life and I have more than I need. So I don't know who needed to hear that. Maybe I did need to hear a little bit of that too, right? But our opinions on ourselves and on our financial status, on all of that stuff, what we put out in the world, we get back. So I talk about this part. I used to think that as the director of nursing that I hit the top of whatever I was allowed, because people kept saying, oh, like you were born in welfare system, you were homeless, your parents weren't educated, like you've really climbed really high above what everybody else did. So they made it seem like I'd really hit the ceiling of what I could accomplish in life. And that makes you not really try to do anything more, because why would you? You've already got the top. So you kind of think, well, I can't accomplish any more anyway. I've already done so great. I'm good. right? Well, that's a limiting belief. That's a belief that doesn't serve you in a good way. And sometimes we have, we have issues around money where we think money is the root of all evil, or, we say things like, I'm always going to struggle, or we can't be saying those things, because that sets with us, and we will find ways to make it true. We will do things in our lives, like we'll be careless with money. Right now, I'm currently looking for $300 that I had in cash from selling stuff that I put somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. Like, that's how careless with cash you can be, as an example. So heed that. Look at what your blocks are around money. Do you judge people that have too much as, oh, they're whatever? Or do you judge people that don't have enough and, oh, look at them, they don't have anything, right? We have to be careful of our judgments. They can tell us a lot about what we're like on the inside, or where our own blockages are. So the card that I pulled for the Shaman's deck is this Lost in Space, number 36. Needing direction. So somebody out there seeking direction. Feeling lost, needing direction and focus, a 24-hour day. Sometimes in life we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we are up-leveling and genuinely changing for the better. A part of us, hiding in the vast expansiveness of space, wants to sabotage our progress. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable, as we find that our thoughts and beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. So maybe somebody's doing a lot of changes, right? You may find yourself adrift in this way right now, unable to focus or determine the next step. You may be tired and simply need to regroup and rest. And I talk about this all the time. We need to rest. We're not all about go, 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 go. If you think about a car, if you jump in your car and you put the gas pedal down, let's say you had the clear space to keep driving forward. If you put the gas pedal down and you just go, 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 eventually the car runs out of gas. And you're the same thing. You need to rest. Only in our society, we really don't honor rest the way that we should. And it's not just, I went to bed and have a sleep. Maybe in a shoe, something to do with shoes, maybe. I put it in a book. I originally had it in a book, but it's no longer in that book. And I'm like, I put it somewhere else. And I packed up half my belongings and sent them to Ontario, maybe more than half of my belongings. And I feel like I may have sent it to Ontario in a book. And I think the book is here, but the book is not. But, we'll find it. Whatever's meant for me will find its way to me. And whatever is mine, I can't lose. It'll come back to me, or I'll find it somewhere, right? So it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So when you might be tired and simply need to regroup and rest. So just remember that if you're feeling tired, take time to rest and actually rest. Sitting in front of the TV zoned out, we're typically not resting in that really good way. Like, actually do have yes, it will bless me later for sure. Right? Do actually take the time to really rest and let go of the need to be doing stuff, and actually take away from like all the electronics too, because that doesn't help you rest. So when you lack direction, the first thing to do is redirect your perspective of time. Like a newborn baby who needs swaddling to feel safe, you're invited to reduce your life vision to the next 24 hours. Anyone can handle living in 24-hour compartments, which allows everything to feel grounded and manageable. You get lost in space when you imagine being swallowed up in the giant vastness of the future with its dark uncertainty, or reflect on how your past has held you captive in a hall of distorted, never-ending mirrors, reminding you that your mistakes and flaws, failures and losses. Take heart that in simple 24-hour container immediately banishes those two awful entities away. You will find your energy and focus restored as you recognize that you were never lost at all. Keep it simple. Right now, conserve your energy and take care of you in basic, fundamental ways, and the world will be right again. And that's such a great perspective, right? Living life in 24-hour periods. It's good to have like goals and dreams and, plans for the future, but that's a moment that you spend getting those plans in motion, but you put them together in the moment, right? You can't do anything in the future until you get there. So the only moments that matter are right now. And this 24-hour period, if you think of life in 24-hour periods and live as much as you can in the now, you reduce a lot of that stuff from the future and stuff from the past that keeps us captive in our mind and usually drives us into anxiety, or it drives us into depression, right? Because we're holding on to those pasts and futures. So let's see what the wisdom. Good morning. I can't see your name. Anyone that's commented so far, I can't see your names. Unfortunately, StreamYard, you have to allow permissions or something like that. But so the wisdom of the Oracle deck, the card that I pulled was TikTok, number 30. Jen, hi, Linda. And I think the one that said Dr. Tanya is Jen, because that's how I'm pretty sure. I feel like that's who that is. But good morning, ladies. Good morning, Linda. Love you. So TikTok, the essential meanings: timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The Oracle's message: when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda, let go of your needs to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. We just said that. I can't make this stuff up. We just said that. I've done that before, where I've literally said something and then I read the card that's pulled and it's saying the exact same line that I've just said to people. So let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectation, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. And it's true. Have you ever found that? When you feel like everything is lost, all hope is lost, and it seems like the world is crumbling down around you and you can't find your way out, all of a sudden something just happens. And when you look back at that moment in time, like later on, you look back at that moment in time, and your life so drastically changed, and for the better, because you've adopted new skills, you've learned more about yourself, you learn what you like, what you don't like, what you want to tolerate, what you don't want to tolerate, and you make these changes and you get better at handling your emotions, or you learn some emotional regulation or some nervous system soothing techniques. You learn things and you grow and evolve and become a better, I don't like to say better person, because that makes it seem like you weren't a good person before, and that's not fair. We're all challenged, right? We're challenged with all of the pain and hurt that we have on us from people that put it there that didn't have any right to put it there, and we sure the heck didn't deserve all that pain and hurt. And now we have to deal with the coping mechanisms that we put in place to help us when we were children to get through that pain and hurt. Right? And most of us don't even know that we're carrying around this pain and hurt and that we have trauma. Good morning, friend. I'm not sure which friend that is, but good morning. So the relationship message: love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to receive, and to give it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beat of your heart, in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know that love is always right on time? Good morning. Good morning from Michigan. Thank you. I love it. And you should see the pants. I got to show you these now. They have buttons. They're like sailor pants. I'm so goofy, but I love it. I love myself, all my goofiness. So make sure that I'm still on 30. I didn't change the page. Good morning, people. So the prosperity message: your prosperity is co-created by your endeavors as they occur in human-made time and the eternal efforts of your most important manifestation partner, spirit. in divine, measureless time. So keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive and make a commitment to remain in high vibration thoughts and feelings. If you heed the message of this card, it will seem as if you will align with your highest calling and your highest good in no time at all, like magic. Ooh, like a magic. So, what's all the fuss about not having enough time? The prosperous life that is yours will never pass you by. I agree. I agree. Everything comes to you in the right time. It's always the right time. Right? So, yeah, I think that's fantastic. So, today, yeah. And I had a thought in my head, but thought flew away, which it sometimes does. It just gets up and bloop. So I'm going to have a sip of coffee and see if maybe it doesn't come back. So this is my other cup. Remember yesterday I was saying that I had to get a different cup, but I'd have to get rid of the other cup in order to hold on to it. This is the other cup that I like to hold on to. I can't use it if I'm always using the other one. I have to give up the other one to get this one. There. But yes, divine timing and things always are there for you to come for you. The stay positive, that's what I was thinking, was that make a commitment to remain in high vibrational thoughts and feelings. And I think people get caught up in this because they're like, how do I do that? Like, life keeps coming at me. How do I stay positive? Or is this toxic positivity? When you're staying in the high vibration, it's not about not acknowledging the moment that you're feeling or experiencing the emotions. A big part of it is allowing the emotions to come into your body, recognizing what they are. And sometimes that takes practice, because when we were children, especially in traumatized homes, we don't know what our feelings are because we probably weren't allowed to express them, right? A lot of times we were made to feel bad for anger. We were made to feel ashamed for crying, right? So then when you get to be an adult, you're like, I don't understand what I'm feeling. I'm just like reactionary. Like, I'm just big ticket items, right? It's usually like, I'm angry or I'm sad, but we don't define it down to say, I'm disrespected, right? Or I've been, I was trying to think of some other ones in this, right? I'm frustrated, right? There's so many different things that fall in the emotional spectrum of anger, or that fall in the emotional spectrum of hurt, right? We can be disrespected and feel hurt, but we can have our needs unmet and feel hurt. There's sadness. There's there's so many different emotions that we can feel. Exactly, right, and we end up turning, and when we get crying, I mean, I was one of those people. Every time I got mad, I would cry because and I would get very emotional because we were taught that anger was bad. Like, anytime my brother was mad, you're being just like your father, and our father not being a good man, that was something that, we weren't allowed. And it was always made that anger, instead of being taught how to channel your anger or how to express your emotions or how to handle it in your body and soothe yourself through it. It was bad. You were bad. And then the same thing with crying. I don't know how many times my brother was told to, like, that he was weak, or, like, to suck it up, right? How many times do you get told to suck it up as a child, right? And not allow that emotion. So we hold on to all of that. We don't express it properly when we're children, and then we store it in our bodies till we're adults, and then we have to move that out and move it through. Right. And that's a challenge. It's a challenge because first, then you have to really, well, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? Those emotion wheels are great tools for discovering how you're feeling, right? When you get angry, hurt, sad, or anything, you go to that piece of pie in the emotion wheel, and then you step from the anger, which is the big ticket. So it's near the center. So the center of the pie has the big ticket, and then it narrows out, like expands out into these other feelings, right? It gives you other emotions. So you find your pie that you're in, and you're like, oh, I'm angry. And then you go down into the next ring. Am I frustrated or this or that, right? And then you go down into the next one, or is it one of these ones, until you find what is the emotion that I'm really feeling. And sometimes when you get into that anger pie and you look at all those things and you're like, it's not actually that. I'm not angry. I'm hurt, and I'm in this spectrum here, and it's this emotion over here, right? So if you don't have an emotion wheel, they're really, really great. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there too. I hope that I hope that the diagnosis is something that you can manage through. But always think in terms of don't own it, right? Never say I have this. I am this, because when you say you have and you am those things, like when you take that much ownership to it, it's ingraining it in you. Instead say I am healing this. I am overcoming that. I am, something along those lines. So the focus is I am healing, I am recovering, I am getting better. Yeah, I'll post one later on. I'll post one on my Facebook later on because they're really good to have. And I'll find one that's a good one. So yeah, that's my thing, right? Is with the high vibration, it's not about staying in, like I'm just going to stay happy all the time. I'm just going to fake happiness. I'm going to feel this all the time, right? It's about learning to experience the emotion and allow it to move through, and then returning back to the state of love, peace, calm, positivity, right? It's not about staying in them. You do have to acknowledge the feelings, but for the most part, we want to put ourselves, like, there's lots of times when we're just sitting there aimlessly thinking about stuff that doesn't serve us and has no bearing over our lives anyway, and we're putting ourselves into these feelings and experiencing those feelings because of our thoughts in our mind. Yes, yes. Framing it in a positive, exactly, right? We have to reframe things and look at, sometimes we learn something. We learn something about ourselves, or we learn something about what we tolerate. We learn something about someone in our life when we go through these experiences. And we just need to look at, what am I learning here? I look at that, with relationships, right? Someone had joked around, and it was my brother actually. And he's like, before you get into another relationship, they've got to come through me, because I need to tell you whether or not it's a good person to be with because of your track record. And it's like, but it wasn't like it was that bad, right? I wasn't, like, yes, I was with 3 partners, and all 3 relationships failed. Does that mean that they were bad decisions? Does that mean that I'm flawed in my decision making? No. At the time that I met them, they were exactly what I needed. And they allowed me to grow and evolve and become who I am today, and to understand what I do like and what I don't want, and what I'm willing to stand up for, and what I'm willing to not allow other people to do to me. Right. So it was all a learning experience. What did I learn from the experiences that I've had all through my life? Right. That's how I look at it. What is this teaching me? Right. And even, going into a new relationship, that's exactly, whatever stays, stays, what goes, goes. I'm not going to I'm not going to stop it. Just go out through the door. If you're not for me, move on. I'll wait for what is for me. I'm okay with that, because I love myself, and I'm okay with that. So I hope that's helpful. But I'm going to jump off because, again, I have 5 minutes to get to work. So I think I'm going to do my reel later, and I'm actually going to try to get to work a little bit closer to on time. Dang it. Getting to work late every day. I feel, well, on time or late, but so I'm going to run. I'm going to run. But I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Connect with me on Facebook or through YouTube, anywhere that you're catching me, LinkedIn. Connect with me through there if you want more. And right now I am giving out a free oracle reading to give you clarity around anything that you're struggling with. And we can see what the cards say for you specifically. These are general. So if it lands and it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, walk away from it. Otherwise, just enjoy the conversation, and maybe something I've talked about regarding trauma and mental health will sit with you and give you some hope or some direction. I love you. Have a great Wednesday. I'm going to. I have a friend who's leaving work, and so she's having a dinner right at the end of work. So it'll be kind of an interesting rush day for me again, but I love it. Bye, guys.